Don't be surprised if he goes crazy. Listen, some of the Kendrick stans have been posting.
You're not the victim here. You are not the victim here.
I want y'all to notice how when that man was sitting next to Charlemagne the God and was faced with the opportunity to take accountability, he did not.
Hey fam, Gracie here once again. Welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that from wherever you, my people, are watching this from, you're doing alright and God has protected you and preserved you very well. To you that continuously give support to me on here, that really means a lot to me. So thank you so very much for your support, and shout out to my members for choosing to support exclusively through the member packs. We do have an interesting episode to look at and give our takes on. And yes, before we start this, I must give a disclaimer that I am not so much in depth with celebrity drama and beefs in that field of the news, right? However, the story that I am about to bring to you today looks like it has crossed the line, and it's, you know, beyond being between two celebrities, but rather it has gotten on the nerves of the black people in general, and they have come out to, you know, to speak their mind about this entire thing. I'm sure you guys have come across this comedian. His name is Andrew Schulz, that you know, went viral about a few months ago by making disrespectful comments about black women. On that podcast, there were two black men that didn't say anything, and the black community was very tough on them, and they actually were forced to come out and give an apology. And this very comedian came out to mock their action, and he called them cowards, which means that whatever he did, it was intentional, and it was literally geared towards agitating the black community. And black people, you know, were like, okay, let's just leave it like that, and we know that's who he is, right? And one of the artists, Kendrick Lamar, came out to make, you know, some statements, I think in a song as well. And he said, you know, you should not let a palm-colored comedian to disrespect your women. This man, Andrew Schulz, came out because he saw that line, and he made some serious threats to Kendrick, and he said he would SA him, and he would grab him, and he would literally put him down and humiliate him. And when the fans heard this, they went and took online, and they say they will do something. And now this man is turning into the victim. He's saying that they are threatening his life and the life of his children and stuff like that. And the black community is like, wait a minute. I've literally gathered lots of stitches in here, and I want us to look at all of them, and we'll definitely come back and talk about it.
Don't be surprised if he goes crazy. Listen, some of the Kendrick stans have been posting shit like telling me they're gonna take out my family on like pictures of my child, my daughter. God. You surprised by this? This is the nature of the game.
Yeah, social media.
Yeah, social media. It's like, but he says that line. He says that line. His parent, his friend, some of his fans. The majority of his fans don't do anything. The majority of his fans are just like, they like hip hop. They think he's a great musician. But the most extreme ones, on a picture of my 8-month baby, are going, you better take security everywhere because I'm coming for your whole family. And this is like multiple. Crazy. So to me, that person, I don't blame Kendrick. We can't control what our fans do. But that person, I go, you're talking about my kid, man. Like, I have to screenshot you, know who you are, and if I ever see you,
you can't play with it. Yeah, you can't play with it. No, I'm with you. 100%. That's why I don't feel no remorse.
I feel no remorse. Like, yo, you talked about someone's child,
you should have learned from Pusha T. Right. He did the same thing to Pusha T. You want to mention people's fiance, and Kendrick took his belt off and whipped your ass the way he gonna whip Schultz's ass.
I don't know Andrew Schulz, all right? I've never understood it. I don't get it. Never understood how he got a voice on hip-hop. He's not a DJ, not an expert on the culture, not anyone who's ever put anyone on, played music, supported artists. He just sat next to Charlemagne and all of a sudden got a pass to start talking about a music and culture he knows nothing about and doesn't understand fundamentally. Kendrick takes a shot on him on the album by pointing out that people shouldn't let a white comedian talk about black women, whatever. His response is to threaten to sexually assault Kendrick in a weird, joking way. Okay, flat, weird joke, but I get it. I get the job you're trying to do. And then also responds by pulling this, since when has hip-hop been so pro-women? Because hip-hop's so pro-women. Why are you talking about hip-hop? We're talking about Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick is the representative for all rap. Do you even like rap? Do you even like hip hop? Like, I know you don't care about black culture at all. Like, you're one of those people who talks about the music because it's hot and trendy. You don't know it. You don't get it. You don't love it. Deep down, it's just a means to an end for you. I get that. But you went straight Bill O'Reilly? And when a rap artist says something, you come at all rap as if Kendrick Lamar is 2 Live Crew? The man's been uplifting women his entire career. How is that your reply?
You are a white man that threatened to SA another black man. And you're upset that that black man who has millions and millions of followers are threatening you online. Brother, you're not the victim here. You are not the victim here. All right? Instead of hopping on the internet and talking about some, oh, these people threaten my family, these people threaten me, why don't you just get online and apologize, bro? That's it. Just say, oh, what I said was in bad taste. I didn't mean it. Whatever the hell you gotta say. But don't hop on the internet playing victim. Bro. I hate that. Like, you threaten to SA somebody, and you're mad that that same energy you put out is coming back to you. I've said a lot of messed up things. I've done a lot of messed up things on the internet. But one thing you will never see me or hear me do is threaten to SA somebody. That is next level unhinged behavior. And you thought it was funny. That's even worse, bro.
I want y'all to notice how when that man was sitting next to Charlemagne the God and was faced with the opportunity to take accountability, he did not. I want y'all to notice how now his response to what the backlash is to say that Kendrick fans are starting to make physical threats to him and his family. I want y'all to see how it seems to be more important for people to defend a man's freedom of speech than defend someone who speaks up for the women in his community. I think this is something we should all pay attention to. And black people, black men specifically, some of us need to start taking a hard look at ourselves. Because I see a lot of you going to bat for that man and his right to tell a joke and calling the people in your own community soft for the fact that they don't want to tolerate disrespect. It's not just the public figures either. It's people right here on TikTok who think they're standing for something by defending what that man said or dismissing it altogether. That's not okay. Let's just call it like it is. It's not okay. It's very whack, all right? And some of y'all are doing it because I get you don't want to support Kendrick Lamar. That is what it is. You don't have to like him as a rapper. You don't. You don't have to like that he won the battle. You don't. But you also should not endorse anyone, absolutely anyone, disrespecting the women in our community, the women in the black community. And I'm telling you, what bothers me more than this whole beef situation between Andrew Schulz and Kendrick, or Drake and Kendrick, or any of that, are the people in our own community who are taking hard stances against us and trying to say that we are playing the victim, trying to virtue signal us for trying to stand up for what we believe in and who we are as a people. You should really ask yourself why you don't see that applying to you, why you don't identify with that desire to have some sort of power and self-respect within the black community and tell other communities not to disrespect us. Why do you not identify with that sentiment? Where does your power come from? Because if you can talk down and disparage your own community, you obviously don't draw power from it. So where does your power come from? Why is it that you can look at a man who says black women are always stressing their boyfriends out? Their boyfriends are growing beards because black women are slapping the shit out of them all the time. Why is it that you can look at a man who says that he would put himself in a jail cell with a rapper and take advantage of him, and that rapper would have no way of fighting him off? Why is it that you can identify with someone like that? You can identify with those words and brush them off and say that they're just a joke. But you can't understand the deep-rooted ancestral trauma that would cause an entire community of people to be upset by those words being spoken. Why is that? These are real questions we need to be asking ourselves, because this is beyond just a joke or a disagreement between a comedian and a rapper anymore. This is beyond a rap beef. We need to really look at who we are and ask these hard questions.
The craziest thing about the Andrew Schulz and Kendrick Lamar situation isn't the fact that Andrew Schulz said he would R-word Kendrick Lamar. It's the fact that if the roles were reversed, Kendrick Lamar would be seen as anti-Semitic, his career would be over, and people are out here justifying what Andrew Schulz had to fucking say.
Let's not jump to conclusion, guys. Maybe the Kendrick stands were joking. We don't know. But speaking of jokes, one of my favorite jokes from Bill Burr set is when he talks about black athletes and a touchy subject that, it may stem from, the transatlantic slave trade and the genetic advantages that black people may have. And as he touched on that touchy subject, and only kind of like a genius way that Bill Burr could do it, he just does it just right? He knows exactly when to punch down, punch sideways, and relate with the audience. But the punchline, I'll never forget it. And when he says, I know the room just got awkward and quiet. And he stops and he says, listen, I'm not saying that black people can become scientists or doctors, but I'm just saying in a race to the microscope, you would be first. I'm just saying. And I laughed my ass off and I thought about it. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's the difference. And that's what I've been trying to tell you. As we've now established that black people can take a joke, let's go back to Andrew Schulz here, brother, because, again, it's not just about the fact that you're telling these jokes. You're telling these jokes that don't hit, right? You're telling these jokes with historical context to it, and you're not aware of that, right? So when you go sit there and you start immediately with essentially what you're accusing other people of, right? But then you say, the nation of the game while still pleading for sympathy from the audience. There goes that colonizer mindset again, right? Attack, and then seek sympathy. So anyway, Andrew Schulz now then sits down with a brilliant idiots, and I've been clamoring for Charlemagne the God and whatever other minority he likes to use to shield himself and say, what are you guys going to have to say about it? So we first discussed, and I told you guys, hey, Andrew Schulz, you're going to meet the Kendrick cult members soon. But other than that, we keep losing the plot. In fact, the person involved keeps losing the plot. Your first error, brother, and you keep trying to muddy it up as jokes, is that people were talking about the black-white effect. You then took it as an opportunity to punch down on black women in a situation that's supposed to uplift black women in terms of when they were interracial dating. Okay, cool. Then the next thing is you decide to, in your words, I guess, clap back at Kendrick Lamar, and you decide to use graping rhetoric, right? Okay, cool. Now you're sitting there essentially half cop and please, half trying to justify your stuff with Charlemagne the God. And to Charlemagne the God, brother, you also going back and forth. Oh, I don't think we should be policing comedians. It's, again, not about policing comedians. But at that moment right there, when I saw Charlemagne as your black friend, I realized that was the difference between Bill Burr and Andrew Schulz. Bill Burr's black friend in comedy was Patrice O'Neal. Rest in peace to Pat. And one thing I know about Pat, if you corny, Pat'll call you out. This idea, and these are two edgier comics than Andrew Schulz. Bill Burr to me and Patrice O'Neal, edgier than Andrew Schulz. The critique here is his techniques. There's a way to do it. Cheap, you're using cheap techniques around stereotypes to get your work off. That's the bottom line. And, Charlemagne, who I thought was smarter, will sit next to you, proximity to blackness, and will just condone it, apparently. That's all he's got to say to it. I'll attach both clips so you guys can watch it for yourself. But ran over. The disclaimer should be given that unlike Andrew Schulz, I don't think, even if anybody wants to joke about your family or joke about your kids, that's a good thing. I don't approve of that. Right? I got lines, but all I'm saying is if historical context, stereotypes are not your lines and doing it right, those are not lines for you, just listen. Open your ears and listen, dog.
Kendrick Lamar got a line. He say, I'm the master that masturbated on your favorite MC until the industry had wanted me assassinated. You be the corny or opportunist. This is coming to fruition. The industry want Kendrick assassinated, and that's why this man, Andrew Schulz, is talking the way he talking. But please believe, Andrew Schulz, you gonna pay for what you said just now. You gonna pay for that, bro. You're gonna pay. We gonna make an example out of you. You think that shit cool? You think it's funny as comedy? That's not comedy. You saying some crazy stuff like, we can't wait to see you, man, for sure. To the entire LA, if y'all ever see Andrew Schulz out there, strip that nigga naked. Strip him naked. Beat the brakes off him. Send the booty bandits at him. Cause he talking unusual. He's saying some of the most disrespectful shit I've ever heard of, man. That's some of the most disrespectful shit you can say to a man. Is, bro, I could take your manhood and you couldn't do nothing about it. That's not being comedy, bro. You pulling my card. Like, you just pulled my whole card, bro. Like, Andrew Schulz, like, I don't think y'all understand. Kendrick made Good Kid, Man City. He made Black Boy Fly. He made Sing About Me. He made To Pimp a Butterfly. And we got a white man out here saying he gonna buck break this man for sticking up for us. This is getting dark, and I'm gonna tell y'all something else. Drake is just having a throwing a temper tantrum. He's having a misunderstanding with his family. These people are his family, okay? They're gonna get aside their differences. When they get their differences aside, they're gonna turn their attention to Kendrick, and it's gonna get really dark. And it's starting right here with Andrew Schulz. That it starts. You know, y'all heard Kendrick Lamar say, I mean, not Kendrick, Kanye, he said the world is like an iPhone. Before they give you the iPhone 12, they got to give you the iPhone 1, the iPhone 2. This right here, what Andrew Schulz just said, this disrespect he just gave to him, it's another level of, oh my God, like that's grounds for, if any black people, look, if any black people catch Andrew Schulz lacking, pack him out. It's over with. Andrew Schulz, I'm telling you now, it's you banned from everywhere. If I see you anywhere, I'm packing you out. If me and my guys see you anywhere, Andrew Schulz, we packing you out. Black people, Andrew Schulz is banned from everywhere. He better move with crazy security. Oh my God, boy, you better be security up. You better have the military with you. Because if black people, if Andrew Schulz is anywhere lacking, we stripping you naked. I want them weak ass flannels you be wearing. It's the principle. I want your tailor-made socks. I want your little dress shoes you wear, your little thermal shirts. I want all of that. We packing him out. It's over with for that nigga. It's over with. Nigga can't talk to art. Revolut. That's like talking to Tupac. That's like talk. Oh yeah, Andrew Schulz, black people, alert. Andrew Schulz banned from everywhere. Everywhere. Nigga. Oh, I swear to God, I can't wait to see Andrew Schulz. I can't wait to see him. I can't. Me and the guys want to see you, Andrew Schulz. Please pop out. Pop out somewhere, Andrew Schulz. Please. Pop out somewhere. He banned from everywhere. Word too. The fuck?
You know what's crazy? A lot of people eat off black women on this app. And I'm talking about being disrespectful towards black women. That's their whole personality. If you take that away from them, where you can't talk disrespectful or say anything disrespectful about black women, they wouldn't have any content. And this goes from like Andrew Schulz to like all these other men that's disrespectful toward black women. And they become so defensive when you call them out on it because you're messing with their meal. You messing with their money. How sick is that? And now on the other side where, you know, you have these women or other people copying black dances, black women dances and black women styles. You could call it cultural appropriation, but you still have to have some type of talent to copy greatness, right? Being disrespectful, that's just low frequency. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to do too much research to be disrespectful towards any group, especially black culture when it comes to black culture, because that's like pop culture. Like everybody knows black culture, bro. You don't even have to know a black person. But that's easy. I could say the same thing about white people. I don't even have to have, you know, no close proximity to whiteness to know white people. But let me get on this app and start disrespecting white women. I'm going to get backlash. I can't make it eating off that. I can't make a living off that, right? And even if I could, I wouldn't do that because that's just toxic. But that's what this is. Like people defending to disrespect black women because they're protecting their money. They're protecting their livelihood. That's what that's all about. And that's not just exclusive to this app. That's like content out there, period.
Born raised in the Upper East Side of Manhattan. Skinny white boy. I got him sleeping you. Dead ass. I got him sleeping you. Let's start there. You're talking all this, I'm taller, I'm bigger, and what? I saw him hitting the bags. Bags don't punch back, my nigga. The lowest center of gravity, short dudes are hard to fight. This to tell you you never had no real fights. Bushwick Bill was a midget in the Ghetto Boys. And Bushwick Bill was the wildest nigga out of all of them. He used to fight Willie D on sight. Every time they got into an argument, he was trying to knock Willie D head off. Bushwick Bill was probably 3 feet tall. And you know what he said? I used to sell niggas in jail for a pack of cigarettes. He was punking niggas in prison. You got it all messed up. You thinking because you're tall, right? But that's because you got no jokes and you're looking for shock value. And the people that think it's funny are weirdos. See, me, I'm just, let's go, let's play the whole scenario out, okay? Okay, let's play the scenario. Because he brought this up, so I'm going to go with it. Andrew Schulz is in prison. He's in cell with Kendrick. I got before Andrew Schulz, unless he shaves his head and becomes skin. First of all, he's going to be with the Aryans. Let's keep it a buck. He won't even be in a cell with Kendrick. Let me know stop me when I'm bugging. But let's just say for shits and giggles, he's not with the Aryans, right? And Kendrick is not with who. Kendrick is just Kendrick and he's who he is. Before he even get in that cell to decide he's going to do anything to Kendrick, I don't even think Kendrick has to say a word. I think he's fooled before he even hits the damn set. Before he hits the bed that night, I think he's fooled. I'm just being honest. Who you think gonna have more heads on their side in that prison, Kendrick or him? So you're bringing up prison scenarios. If we was in a cell, I think you're fooled. I just don't see it, gang. I'm just being honest. So with the nonsense, it sound funny because you're on your podcast with your cackling homies over there, but I don't think you make it out of there if you put one hand on this dude in that prison. Let's talk about it. I think whatever happens that night, I think he beats you up. I'm just being honest. You're not raping nobody. I think he beats you up. And I think in the morning, when he comes out, 10 other dudes beat you up. Okay? So let's clear that up out the way. Let's just move past this whole, I'm bigger than you, I'm gonna chump you up. These jokes sound great, but they're not realistic. I don't see no scenario where you win this conversation. It's bizarre. But let me just finish what I'm talking about, because I feel like we as a people need to realize when somebody really don't rock with you. I watched a little bit, because I had to do a little bit of research before I did this video. And it's tough to find something funny from this guy. I'm just being honest. It's really tough. His timing's off. He's mean-spirited. His jokes not landing. He doesn't have good. It's just a lot of. I watch a lot of comedy, gang. I don't base my comedy on he's raw, he's racist, da da da. A racist joke can be funny. I can watch a comedian that's borderline racist, but the racism isn't funny. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to make real comedy. A joke can be, you can make a joke about race that can be funny. Racism is not funny, my nigga. It's never going to be funny. You can take a topic of racism, or you could take a topic about race and make it into a joke. Racism ain't funny. So this guy lives off of racism and being mean, and he thinks that shit is funny. So I did some research. I watched his stand-up. I think it was, I watched the beginning of Infamous, and he was talking about Diddy, and he was talking about if you rob Diddy, he may be home, and he may be naked with Meek Mill. It's all pandering, my nigga. We all really get it. I get it. You don't really like this culture, but it gets you laughs.
Before we get into it, I want you guys to let me know what you think about this entire situation. When I was beginning this video, I said that this has crossed the line from just being in between two celebrities that are literally fighting each other to including or involving the entire black community, because in the first place it was about black women, and then it has come to black men. Statements that he made about groping and essaying Kendrick Lamar, it literally brings lots of memories to the black community and black people of what really happened to their ancestors and their people. And then a man like him, who is palm colored, feels it's okay to make such a joke, and even calls it a joke, knowing the history, because I'm not gonna say that he doesn't know the history of this. No, he definitely knows the history of this, right? And he knew why it's gonna come after that, right? And then he's the same type of a person that is coming out to say that now he is afraid for his life and for the life of his children. But then he's forgetting that when he did this, he literally rubbed lots of wounds that have never been healed. And these wounds were caused by people that look like him. But anyways, I think he said that black people have soft egos and they can't take a joke and stuff like that. I feel like there's nothing funny about gripping. There's nothing funny about any of the things that he really does. Something that, stuck out with this entire thing, also listening to these people. I think they do have a problem with black people coming out and sticking together and saying enough with the disrespect. We will literally come for anybody that tries to put us down, that tries to literally, abuse us and insult us and use us for clout, for money. We are done with that. Because I think the community they are used to is a community that will literally stay divided and not say anything. That's the reason as to why you do have those two young men that watched him say and spit all the nonsense and they didn't say anything, right? So that's the kind of community that they are used to. But things are kind of changing because black people have started realizing that they are being turned against each other to literally tear themselves, but while they are ignoring that real big elephant in the room who is their oppressors. Because trust me, there's lots of people like him and there's so many people that follow him that believe the things that he says, right? So black people are saying, no, we're sticking together and we're definitely going to talk about it and we're definitely going to call out something when we know it is affecting us. And I think also something else, it's been normalized for these people to turn black men against black women and vice versa, turn black women against black men, right? Our final take on this should be us to realize how triggered they get and how scared they get when they realize that the black communities come out as a collective with one voice to fight against disrespect against, black women and black men and the entire black community at large. But also I want us to realize that this is also one of our weaknesses, how we get agitated when they say such things, but when it comes to us working together, investing in ourselves and literally uplifting each other, we don't do that. And I think they do take advantage of that weakness, and that's the reason as to why this is going to be silenced. But then other people will rise, or probably the same person will come again and do the same thing over and over. If we do not have that community of us working together, because I told you that these comments are not just against black women, these comments are not just against black men, these comments are against the entire community. So this should always remind us not just to come together when there's something to fight, but rather even when we have other things that are going on in the community, we should always be united. So before I end this episode, allow me to highlight something that is very, very crucial here. The same way this young man is coming out on the internet to make what he calls jokes of saying and groping black men, yes, the same things that happened to the ancestors of the descendants of the slaves in the Caribbean, in America, in Brazil, in Dominican Republic, and other areas, right? Yes, some of those same tactics were used even on the continent. But what if I told you that as we are speaking right now, this is happening to men on the continent of Africa, in the country of Congo and Sudan. And these men are not saying anything about it because it is a shame. So before you start making jokes about this, I don't know. I'm going to have to say that I visited Congo in October of this year. And I was super heartbroken to hear that 70% of the kids that I saw that are born in the village where I was at, these kids were as a result of grabbing from people that are fighting Congolese to take their resources and make them miserable. So some of these things are very personal to the Black community because these atrocities, maybe they are not happening anymore in the US. They are happening on the continent of Africa, in Sudan and in Congo, in Chad and other countries that probably I don't know about, but they are on the continent. So to us, we take these things personal. We are not just being soft. And these are some of the things that are being perpetuated by people that look like you because they want to take these people's resources, and the same reason as to why you weakened and humiliated Black men to get them to work for you. I want you guys to let me know what you think about this entire thing. But also, if you can support and pray for the people of Congo, Sudan, Chad, Cameroon, please pray. There are so many initiatives online that you can donate to support some of those people. And if you can, please do that. But as a Black community, I think more than ever, coming together and fighting together and also working together, this is the time for us to do that. My plea to the Black community is let's stop these people from monetizing off your efforts and your, attention, right? If such things be said and that person is there, you guys sue him and let him pay heavily. So at least some of the people that will want to do something like he did, they will learn from that and know that this is not a community to joke with. What do you guys think? Put your thoughts in the comment section and please subscribe to the channel if you have known. I will definitely see you in another amazing video. Until then, my name is Gracie and I love you. Peace.